Welcome back. The last we left off on was the PNG. Much like today's episode, we're improving things. Today we'll be going from a nobody to a somebody. As I've decided, we'll be starting one of the UAF quest lines right after we get that Admiral ship. Now, let's jump back into it. Alright, so we aren't at enough for auxiliary, which is fine, but this next job should get us there. That is literally back the way I came. Sure, we'll take that one. Oh, I picked up more than I thought I did. Here, you could have these. I really only want the Alpha AI core. Oh, and I found that we're crazy. I swear, I'm not rigging it. But man, does it look like I am. Now, I do kind of like using these, though if I said I used them correctly, that would be a lie. Nice. Alright. Now to find them. Hey! Friends! Wait, why did I fly all the way here? It was the same system. I could have just used the gate. Sometimes I question my intelligence. Well, using the catapult was fun, so that's reason enough to do it. I guess. Open trade. Buy all the fuel that I wasted. Because I didn't need to do that. What do you got for work? Out in the middle of nowhere. His wouldn't happen to be in the same region. I feel like theirs were. No, none of them were, actually. How tragic. Alright, jumping into hostiles territory should be fine. What do we got? Oh hey, you're just right there. Another archipelago. And an arctic. And a... Sadly, it's... Lennic. Derogatory. Are there any other Lennic path I can take? Even though that might end up killing me. Weird, I feel like that train of thought got me killed previously or something. Yeah, like that. But we have enough combat readiness, we'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Oh, we lost ships. Okay, fair enough. Ah, no, stay away from me. I said stay away. I'm not in a great condition to fight, but against that, it should be fine. Ooh, spatial laboratory. halves the zero flux speed boost of all ships and fleet, but it is now always active with ships in below 25 of its maximum flux. Okay, we could put that in active artifacts, and now we constantly have a boost. Very nice. Now let's see. I'm thinking maximum damage reduction to armor. My ship doesn't need it right now, but it would be nice. But actually, no, the flux dissipation per ordnance point is actually a lot better. Plus the capacity if I make it elite. That's gonna help us a lot. Okay, now just to get back to UAF territory. That is a long flight. There wouldn't happen to be any other bounties nearby, would there? 99 days? Rumored to be hiding in an arid world in a system with an orange primary. Well, I might not be a genius, but I know which one of those is an orange star. Arid world? Where are you? Terran-eccentric. Man. Meanwhile, when I try to casually play, I can't find anything. Friend. Hey, no running. I can't keep recovering you like this, man. This planet does have ruins. That's an insanely good planet. Like, wow. To me, if I was, that's, an abrupt rhythmic fluctuation disrupts your sensor readings. I mean, we managed to get to the system without running into trouble, so maybe it was just music, and I wasn't about to be jumped. Nice. Lightning operation. I don't think I've seen this one. Wings that cost below 25 mark will acquire these following effects. Increased fighter replacement and recovery, hull rating, and maneuverability and speed. What are your deployments by chance? Hilarious. Actually, they both do have light wing operation already. So never mind. Yeah, but I guess while we're actually here, I might as well go over like a little bit of the system. I originally just planned to make it a gas station with the gas giant, but then I went like, you know, I kind of like frozen planets. I feel like making a capital with a frozen planet. So I ended up actually going a little too far. Instead of making just a gas station, made a whole ass faction. They have custom ships too, although that's only a few of the models. Those aren't actually the correct ones, I think. Aren't you? Yeah, the Boreas, the Aurora. I don't make those. Oh, it must be a template they have in theirs. But the Dragoon, though, I wouldn't mind buying one of these. But I did kind of try to set it up properly instead of just giving me every free thing in the world. No, don't open one of those. But I am especially actually proud of Colony setup, getting the frozen greenhouses. A little broken, maybe, but it is trying to feed an entire systems faction, so. Needs more work. But doing all of this actually gave me a better appreciation for mods in general, because getting this to work was something else, that's for sure. Definitely gave an appreciation, especially for how far UAF goes for their mod. Alright, boss. What you got for me this time? Would you happen to want to buy one of my destroyers? No, you want my cruisers. I can't give you those. A nearby challenge. Easy. You wouldn't happen to be selling placements, would you? To be cooperative? How am I not cooperative? I am very cooperative. Who's saying I'm not cooperative? And yours is just really far north. High danger one it is. Before that though, let's actually take a trip to LunaLib. Now, while I do know some of the starts, I'm not particularly keen on starting with what I have right now. Two light cruisers in replacement of the destroyers might not be a bad idea. The cost is a little much, especially since I still have to supply them with guns, but hey. Sadly, my friends, it is time for us to adjourn. Actually, you know what? I'm not giving up the guns. Just gonna strip those real quick. Anti-shield cannon, huh? How about you throw on the anti-armor cannon while you're at it? Well, that's just support. It's not even... Yeah, that's just a support one. So I might as well just do this. Shield, armor. You are using the same big gun. That's fine. I'm not particularly keen on the missiles you're using, but it should be fine too. Though, truth be told, I'd rather just use flares, honestly, on the sides. If they're going to be like that. There wouldn't happen to be more anti-armor, would there? Not the guns I'm looking for now. But, that's not a bad layout, as far as I'm concerned. You know, actually thinking about it, I guess I never actually did stop to point out the changes that I've seen. Granted, though, we will see them during the missions, but I think I might point out something. I did find it interesting that they moved a Ludic research, or listening post, rather, here, along with the pirates. Because there was a pirate before, but not set up like this. And also it's very interesting that in this system, they added a Tritachyon post, which I don't think existed before. It is sad, though, that they did get rid of the, what's it called? Gas Giants. I forget the name of the actual place. Probably because it's just like this one where I can't pronounce it correctly. I see the consonants and vowels. I choose not to process them. Alright. There you are. Wait, are you? Oh no, you're just a bounty hunter. Is the one running away from me the one I actually need? So help me. Hey, stop running. You're the one I need, aren't you? No, you're not the quest one. But you are a pirate scumbag, so you need to die. Where is the bounty? Don't tell me that's them chasing me right now. Son of a... I need my ships to repair a little bit. Okay, now we can brawl. They would do that. They would appear right after I actually engage an enemy. 111 for bounty completion and 95 for mission. I could already get Admiral. Fine. But I'm about to forget the other mission if I don't do that right now. So let's just do that real quick. Alright, how much time remaining do we have? We have 53 days. I can work with that. Oh, there you are. We survived this. Probably. I'd give you all a raise if that were even possible. Alright, let us stop by the gas station once more. This is the one charge use. Let's get rid of that as well. And sell off some of these. Now I did want to actually keep some of that. Metals. For when I built the comm relay, so that should be fine. Oh yeah, we have a mill cell saved up. Also, I don't even need all of these. Heck, I could even cause a few more. Yeah, with all of that, we should be good. I'm not gonna lie, figuring out how to set up tariffs was kind of annoying. I was kind of surprised that wasn't an automatic market thing. Yeah, I actually had to set that one up manually for some reason. Alright. We need to go get our governorship confirmed. Let's head to Lunamon. Alright, I can't speak with the artificial complex. I would like to ask for promotion. I would like to become an admiral. I would like to just skip commander altogether. Alright, and with that, we actually have our ability to colonize 1 planet. Which is kind of unfortunate that the max is only 3. But hey, we live with what we can. We also have a reduced tariff for goods. Access to blueprint weapons and fighters and ships that are under the possession of the Aurora Federation. We have free storage on all their planets, and independent research operations, and ability to deny scans and cargo patrol. Pretty nice, and a salary of 50k, so that should help cover our balance. What is our income looking like? Not amazing, but once that ticks over to 50k, oh yeah, we're at a net income. Alright. Alright, now to take to stock. Now, one of the things I did want to do was to establish a larger fleet. This is a nice number of ships, but it could be better. Especially now that we have a few minor demods. So, while we're here at Lunamon, let's check out their available ships, because I wasn't really paying attention. I'm not buying destroyers. I have a very good track record of getting those destroyed. But thank you, though. Granted, though, these demods are very unappealing. Erratic fuel, faulty power, and defective manufacturing. Gonna be a hard pass, not gonna lie. Granted, this is more of a carrier, so damaged weapon mounts doesn't truly matter. But degraded life support and manufacturing costs is also a little bit of an issue. Maybe we do buy this, though. It is a destroyer class, and I could use a few destroyers, so maybe I actually am convincing myself to buy these as well. Now, you may be saying to yourself, but Vaughn, don't you plan to settle a Sakura planet and need to save up on money? You would be absolutely correct. However, I also do need a proper fleet for what I do have planned later. And what I have planned later involves fighting a bigger fleet than what I currently possess. So, thinking we'll go with light gunfighters for this one, since it's a small, maneuvery little thing. And we do have the... Oh, do I not actually have it? Isn't there a... Oh, there we go. Light wing operations. So any wing below 20 operation or ordnance points mark will allow... Man, my English. Will acquire these following effects. So faster replacement recovery, better hull rating, and maneuverability and speed. So that should make them even better. We will check out the auto fits. Probably go something in the support category. I do like how it has two Swarmas. Suarez? I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't read half of what Aurora's titles are called. That's on me. Probably not a wise idea. But it also has a giant point defense in the front, so it should be fine. And this also does have internal survey equipment, which is also nice. We throw in the custom AI because I always forget that. And then, let's see, that is 216. We actually can go lower on this by quite a number. We could expand things. Since this does have missiles, we could throw in the increased ammo capacity for missile weapons, which I think is what we'll do. That would then make it... Well, this also does have a flux rating, so we have to take that into consideration. Put max of 800 to another 100 on top of that. Pretty nice. Alright, that should be everything. Let me double check that we do not have any currently active bounties. We have Space Anomaly and Return Data Core, so we could ignore both of those right now. Instead, we'll be heading over to here. And we're going to colonize that Sakura world and finish surveying that barren world. Alright, now to establish colony. That'll be 200 supply, which I probably should have bought more, but it's fine. And... Alright, I forgot about this part. So, we could do centralized urban core, which gives us reduced maintenance upkeep, except for military and resource-dependent structures, increases synergy. All industries that don't specialize in resource extraction can get up to 2 additional production, and industries specializing in resource extraction will get lower by 3, so that would actually make farming even worse, as a matter of fact. Increases defense would be nice, but we're going to put that aside. Balance provides nothing. Decentralized industrial complex. All industries specializing in resource extraction will get 3 bonus towards production depending on colony size. All other industries will receive an output reduction of 4 units depending on colony size. Now, this isn't actually as bad as it sounds on account of we're mostly just going to be mining the organics and farming. So this would actually be pretty nice. However, the maintenance cost will be increased by 50% across the board on everything. And if a MagicLib network is built and operational, this penalty will be reduced by 30. So overall it becomes 20, and then we get an additional 10% from a resort center. So this might actually be the one we want to go with. It does lower synergy effectiveness by 10% and lowers path interest significantly. So this should actually be probably our best bet for the Sakura planet. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think of any names for it. Vineyard. Because I can't think of anything else to call it. We are trying to aim for it being a farming place, even if Sakura gives us a penalty to it. Let's go. This is technically not needed, but we'll do it anyway. Let's just go with Kuro Inc. I'd go with company, and then that'd be a inside joke for any anime fans out there. But let's just go with this. Nice. Now we do have the space force under production. We do have enough. Apparently I, in fact, did not set up the mod correctly. That should not be available on this planet. But I'm going to ignore that. We do have monoplots. We should be immediately able, though, to upgrade it into farming. Let us build that, and then we'll build an extracting operation. So we'll show, and then mining, and then build. All right, then that'll be those two for there. We will have food production, so we shouldn't have to worry about that too much for our colony. We do missing the active comm relay. However, that was our whole point for keeping all of the iron and transplutonics. So let's go. Makeshift comm relay. We have just enough. Perfect. That gives +1 stability. And the nav movie gives us burn speed, so we'll put that. That way we have a better time getting from place to place, especially with all these clouds. Okay, good. We're not understaffed for crew. We could use some admirals, so I think we'll be going headhunting here in a moment. Back to Aurora and then pick up a few jobs. Now, the Rocky Metallic will probably be our industrial planet overall. I am, though, curious about this barren one, so let's go check it out. This will not be a good replacement in exchange for the other one, so. Unfortunate, but okay. But now that we did colonize, that also means now that everyone can start invading each other. So this will be great. All right, now just make a small trip to Forvonus, where we do have options, but the first thing I wanted to go to is the Special Economic Zone. The Special Economics Zone requests access. It will cost us 200,000, which is not great, but we will pay it. And we'll access it. Now, unfortunately, we're not really going to buy everything right at this moment, but let us see how much we have. Buy just trade all. And I think we'll hold on to this to turn it in as a key for credits and also some reputation, even if the 4,000 would be rather nice. I do very much like what they did with it. Knowing how complicated this probably was, it's very impressive. I do like it. But in the meantime, we could also look at ships, which this is where you get the Fusurina. I'll eventually get its name correctly. My favorite ship, but we already have one capital. We don't need 1,000 more. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know which one of these the Nekomatas can actually fly. That said, looking at the price tag for most of these, I'm not even sure I want to fly any of them. Or we can grab some of the prototypes. I distinctly recall these shooting giant energy balls that just knock everything around. The real question is, do they come with guns? I do not believe they come fitted with guns. Alright, I think we'll take 2 of these, confirm the transaction. We have many planets to survey to always get more credits. Add these 2 to our fleet's comp. And as I thought, they do not come with guns, which is a letdown, but understandable. The guns are not exactly the same, but you know, it works. Actually, wait a second, are all of those? Oh, well, my bad. My apologies. Let's actually fix that real quick. Put you on, and instead, let us slap in rapid heavy armor, which puts actually us at flux, which is perfect. Thinking we instead slap you here, you here. Someone is looking at this and going, what is he doing? Stop this, man. Slap in the rapid, and that does not make it equal, actually. I need you to have... Oh, these ships are going to explode. Alright, what's our credit balance looking like? Oh, good lord. But we now... I do like this, having the access special zone here, instead of having to go click on going through the dialogue every single time. Unfortunately, there is no one to pick up here, so let us check out some other planets. Ooh, was there a battle here? Boris class heavy freighter. What are you doing? Holy, where do you come from? Interstellar man? Damaged life support, erratic fuel, increased maintenance. I mean, I kind of just planned to sell it in the next planet, so let's just sell it in Earth. Let's see, anyone to hire? No? Very disappointed. Let us grab some supplies while we're here, before I forget. Sell off these. We can sell the rest of these as well, and get some tools back since we will be needing those. Our monoplot completed, and also the excavation started and the upgrade starting, so that's good. Let us check out. Do we have... No one. Wow, okay. That is mildly concerning that we don't have any admirals to pick up. And I don't feel like picking up a mercenary officer. No one again? Wow, that is concerning. Let us speak with our contact. What work do you have for me? Bounty dockets. I can handle a challenge. 220, nice. Atlas super freighter. I think we can handle this even if it's 20 more. Check in with Nina. And I saw that no one was there, so that is very sad and concerning. And your challenging thing is all the way over there, and I'm definitely not fighting that. That's roughly in the same region. We'll accept it. I have a key card to turn in. Select. 250,000, that gives Nina up some, and also Aurora Federation up some. Actually, as a matter of fact, spark a conversation. Ask about UAF ASA. Request neural processing plant access. So you're telling me you want to have access to the neural processing plant. You are only recently being an ally of the Federation. I hope you understand that. However, you have proven to be useful and loyal, at least from my observation. Alright, I'll grant it. You now have clearance to the neural processing plant. Please don't misuse our trust. I would never. Is this not the face of the most trusting man ever? I sure as hell wouldn't. Speaking of, though, I did forget about that one skill point from last time, so let us actually consider what I should get. Probably 10% weapon damage for combat ships. That would probably be nice, actually. It also increased our ground operations. I think our Marines would love that. Alright, our first income actually came in, and that is a pretty good income. I forgot which buttons to press. Alright, here we go. What's our income looking like? 12,000 right off the bat. That's actually really nice, especially from that Sakura bonus. So we're actually doing pretty decent with our commission and also the planets. Nice, nice. Alright. How wonderful it is to be back here. Can I actually quickly stop by here? Oh, you have the station, not the planet itself, I see. Ooh, an officer, finally. Depends on what you can do. Shield manipulation. And you're reckless. Sure, you're hired. I need someone. Can I supposed to happily have to see you? Wait, what time? Lounge the door surface, gilded stuff. Few spaces. As you enter, an impeccably dressed young appearing man lounging at the bar stands and approaches. And what's your business? Just this. Hand you a card, placing it in the hand. Examine it. The subtle off-white material has a luxurious heft. An embossed Tritechnion crest is just visible through the barely translucent polypl stock. Director of Special Acquisitions. Received an invitation to speak with VP Galmore on High Bristle. Interesting. Not what I was looking for, but okay. What do we have going on here? Oh, they're hostile. You wouldn't happen to be... Oh, you are pursuing me. Stop pursuing me. Oh no. That little guy. Poor thing. You are engaging in battle with... Okay, I gotta... We're outnumbered by quite a lot, but I can't let that stand. I'm literally commissioned with them and my contact lives there, so... I think I don't have much of a choice in this regard. Although only being able to deploy this much is kinda terrible. That's what I'm talking about. And none of my guys died, only a few of our allies. You wouldn't happen to need a new job, would you? Yeah, join the pursuit. Hunt them down like the dogs they are. That is an insane amount. And a good amount of supplies back. We are like extremely over encumbered, but we are right next to the store, so we could just drop all of this off and have a nice payday. All right, nice. Profit of 141,000, and we're gonna take quite a few of these. That's still a good profit margin. And slap in some fuel, and Yeah, I can live with that profit margin. Considering what we just went through? Oh yeah, plus the level up, even better. Now we could reduce fuel consumption, which would be very nice, and increase our salvaging of it. I think we probably want to go with that option. Resources would be nice though, but that does not include rare items, so let's go with fuel consumption. Do we have any admirals? We do not, unfortunately. Do we have any bar events? Well. If it isn't the time to start the missions. As you approach the pilot, before you can even open your mouth, she grabs you and pulls you into the booth and hugs you tightly. You are surprised at first when you hear some military police officers walking past, questioning other patrons about a blonde woman. As they approach, you instinctively pull your arms around her. You take advantage of a passing group of off-duty crew, using them to mask your escape. A few enthusiastic ones jovially bump into you, and they engage you and your companion in spontaneous conversation. In a matter of minutes, you blend in with the throng traveling with them to destinations unknown. The woman grips your hand tightly even after you leave the MPs and the crowd far behind. After taking some twisting paths and going down a few levels, you let go. A deep sigh escapes her mouth. Thanks, she mutters breathlessly. After taking a few minutes to calm down, the two of you find another private space to sit down and chat. The more anonymity, the better off you'll be. Yimie Thompson, commanding officer of the 5th Experimental Fleet Wing on the Resolution, or at least I was. She says hurriedly, her eyes shift rapidly between you and the entrance. We were ambushed near Antares, and they managed to disable the ship. No long-range distance comms, so I had to fly here on my own to get help. And when I got here, well, her eyes impulsively scanned the bar area. Though the two of you are now on a different floor, Yimie is still on high alert. After giving your name, you ask her about her situation. We had our suspicions when we left port, she says rapidly as she crosses her arms. Things on inventory were mismatched, parts and tools going missing, radars picking up false positives, marks of sabotage. It was obvious, but command wanted flight data for a new flight craft, and we were already under a lot of stress from all these problems stacking up. She shakes her head. I can't believe she would do something like this. She looks you dead in the eye, her expression darkening. I think the saboteur was Captain Mizuki, my direct superior and the Resolution's aviator captain. Captain Mizuki was always very secretive. She would occasionally disappear for hours on end, only to show up at the end of the day for inspection. On those occasions, something always went very wrong, and it always ended up grounding our test flights the following day. Yumie's fingers dig into her arm as she clenches. She left before me to get some help, but even after a few days, no ships came to our rescue. Some of us assumed she had been killed in transit, but when we checked her quarters, it had been ransacked. Her hollow pad had been wiped clean, save for a few access records. But checking the ship's data logs, it had been the last thing to access our flight data for the experimental aircraft. She scowls. I didn't want to believe that she had been a spy, but when I got here, the authorities were already looking for me. They had a survivor from the Resolution had come here, and they had pinned me as a traitor. Yimie slams her fist into the table. From somewhere above you, you can hear urgent voices, but a feeling that the MPs would come back. Yimie seemed to sense this too and grabs your arm. Please, you have to help me prove that it wasn't me. I know it's been days, but there has to be someone still alive on the Resolution. They can vouch for me. The pounding of boots getting louder, you can only split second to decide. Promise to find someone or something to prove her innocence. The timer begins. You take Yumie's arm and pull her close, draping your coat over her shoulder. You swiftly lead her out the back door of the bar. Moments later, MPs arrive at the booth where the two of you had been. Outside, you tell her the two of you can search for proof of her innocence together, but she pulls away, shaking her head. The flight data has been stolen, and no doubt someone is looking to sell it. As much as I want to, someone has to stay here and keep an ear to the ground for any suspicious sales of classified data. And between the two of us, only I know what to look out for. Your tripod pings as some coordinates show up on local star charts near Antares. You'll find the Resolution there, she says as the two of you part ways. Hopefully you'll be able to find something, a video log, a survivor, anything to help. You say resolutely, I promise to get you out of this. Alright, now. Enteres. Lekos. Let us try to avoid the rocks, shall we? Alright, now if I do a nice general ping. Ah, I see where our target is. And they see me. That is quite a number of ships you got there. Time to see what this timeline would look like if I just went head first and did not care. So, everyone basically died. But, wow, okay, I might just need to replace the entire fleet. That's a lot of modules, not gonna lie. Oh, and we got 2 Velvet cards? That's actually like, really nice. Now we do need to go and investigate you real quick. Move in closer to the wreckage. As your fleet moves closer to the wreckage, your bridge comms warn you that there might be a trap surrounding the wreckage. With that in mind, you decide to proceed. Pirate ambush? What was that about an ambush? I didn't think so. Our hull is a little on the full side. Let's just drop off those metals. Approach the wreckage. Having the ambush pirate fleet eliminated, your fleet closes its distance to the wreckage once more. You are able to prepare a shuttle towards the wreckage. You assemble the boarding team who will go with you. After several equipment checks, you board the shuttle and carefully fly towards the UAF's resolution. As you and your team thoroughly clone the ship, they report back several objects of note. First of all, several of the reported prototype aircraft are missing. Pirates would have likely stripped all of them at once, so it is likely they were used to escape the ship. The next was the locked room. This was, undoubtedly, the ship's armory. However, there are signs that it had been opened very recently. Pirates are not known for tidiness, and would have left the hatch open after raiding it, which can only mean that someone was inside. Open it. Dun dun dun! Your security team rallies behind you as your salvagers get to work cutting the lock. As soon as the door comes off, several gunshots ring out, ricocheting around the room. Through the ringing of ears, you can hear, "Nobody move." A panic woman yells out, "Anyone comes any closer and I'll space everyone here." You can make out a faint noise of a pin being pulled. She hasn't let go of the fuse yet, but your crew is confident they can seal the compartment before the grenade can blow. "Thompson sent us." The woman scoffs. "That wallflower sent you?" "Yeah, and I'm the Queen of Uria. Come in and die, if you dare." She says evenly, "It seems like she thinks you're one of the pirates. She came to LunaLib chasing Captain Mizuki. Now the MPs are searching for her for treason. She came searching for... But I've been here this entire time. Who told her That damn..." Some more cursing comes from the woman. "Just give me a second." After another minute of cursing and scoffing, the woman slowly emerges from the armory, her arms raised, hands empty. You fill her in on why you're here. "I am Captain Mizuki Yamazaki, the former aviation officer aboard the UAF's Resolution." She looks at you dead in the eye. "You're the one in charge here, right? What do you mean that the authorities are looking for Yimie?" You fill in about what transpired on LunaLib. Mizuki curses under her breath. "She thinks I'm the saboteur, huh?" She shakes her head. "Hate to tell you this, but it's not me. As for my disappearances, it's because I was investigating them myself. I almost had them when the ambush occurred. While everyone was in a panic, they got the jump on me. When I woke up, I was already locked in here." "You obviously can't tell me any lies. Your name is Blue." As she says this, a ping comes in from your triponder. "Yumi's been cornered." Miyazaki smirks. "Well, regardless of whether you believe me or not, we need to hurry to Nur. The Resolution was home ported there, so there's where her trial will be held. And I'm the only one who can testify that she's not the mole. We can worry about setting things straight afterwards. Just so you know, we are technically in an active crime scene. You may have to give up this wreck when we get back to port, just to prove three of us aren't involved in this mess. Process the salvage of the Resolute." What do you mean I can't have the Supercarrier? What do you mean I can't have the superior fleet Supercarrier? Recover the ship. Yep. Alright. To Nur! Alright. Nur! We could ask her a few questions. Upon arrival to spaceport, Mizuki turns to you. "We need to come up with a plan of action. I'm going to ask around about where Yimie is being held. Meet me at the bar when you are ready, and don't take too long. The clock is ticking. Just make your questions quick." What I would like to know is... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to ask the personal question. Tell me more about yourself. Average family, unremarkable childhood, stable career path. Anything else? I see. So you and Yimie. She gives you an aloof gaze, trying to pierce through your intention. She was a subordinate, capable, arrogant, and a bit impulsive, and a damn good fighter pilot. The introvert in me now wishes to shut myself in and not engage with this conversation anymore, so we are done here. I'll meet you there. Nice. It's funny that it increases Yumie's relationship. I find that funny. To La Bar. Rendezvous with Mizuki to discuss your next steps. You head over to Mizuki's table and have a seat. She immediately begins filling you in on what she's found out while waiting on you. Yimie is being held in a holding facility near the spaceport. Relatively speaking, it's rather lightly protected. Most of the security is handled by private security firms. Those are easy. A single properly equipped Marine can handle one. Man to man. Our most present concern is the holding facility itself. Pulling up a map of the facility on her holopad, Mizuki remarks the patrols and their routes, as well as the shift change times. The holding facility itself is heavily fortified. We have two alternatives. Firstly, full frontal assaults. At most 150 poor lost souls. Though light on numbers, any of the guards on Nern are professionals and they will be on the defensive. You're guaranteed to receive a high casualty rate. Lady Alexandra will most likely make a move to reprisal. Or we can send a highly trained team of infiltrators. Security is tight, can only pick your best of the best. Once you decide, I'll let you know. Why can't I contact? Requires an active content. Give me one moment, please. I was not aware that it had to be an active content. Alexandra! Hi, hello. I'm just gonna greet you real quick. So you finally come to Nurse Station, huh? A raspy voice calls out to you. The administrator in the diplomatic bureau recommended your services to me. No idea what you did to gain such recognition, but we will see what you can do. You turn to find a woman approaching you, flanked by numerous guards with various cybernetics installed on their body. With you and your security team vastly outnumbered, you decide it's better not to mess with her or get on her bad side. Don't be so tensed. Welcome to Nerve Processing Plant. Here we ensure the UAF always gets the resources it needs, especially rare ores and minerals. But before any of that else, I would like to test your capabilities. Since you are here, I need someone who can deliver these materials to somewhere. Are you up for the task? Sure, you can leave it to me. I'll do my best. Deliver the minerals to the designated Aurora market. Ask about more details. I need to deliver 500 ores and transmutonics to LunaLib located in Oya system within 60 days. This delivery is ahead of its schedule due to certain bureaucratic debacles. She taps a tripod. I will also lend you a spare freighter from our docking pads. It is in the event that your fleet isn't capable of carrying this amount of minerals. Captain, do remember that this is not a freebie and you must return the freighter along with the cargo. Anyway, I believe this job is quite easy even for a greenhorn captain. I hope you will not fail this job. Yes, I'll be on my way. So let us pause Yumie's execution real quick and go deliver this job first. Clearly, I should have made friends with her beforehand. To LunaLib. Thinking about it, I think the intended quest chain was to get access to Ner. Go to Nern, pick up this quest, go to LunaLib, then start Yumie's. Fortunately, Yumie's execution can stay just for a little bit. Visit the port and deliver the materials. Deliver it now. So that improved her reputation and also the Aurora Federation's. Nice. Back to Nurse. Alright, and our orbital station has finished, which is excellent. Alright, so now we have a stability of 9. Our income has gone down considerably, but that is to be expected and not terrible. We are at an abundance of these, but that's just because we need to establish new colonies. So we'll hold off on any further expansions with these lots and just focus on expanding our next colony once we reach a high enough rank. In the meantime, we should probably help Yimie. You tell Mizuki that you'd like to try something first. Leaving Mizuki to plot out Plan B, you head over to meet Alexandra. She is already waiting for you when you arrive. You better have a good damn reason as to why you want me to release a war criminal into your custody. You've explained to her that you have leads on another suspect. Alexandra raises an eyebrow. Really now? She folds her arms. That puts me in a difficult position. If you're right, then we're putting an innocent woman on trial. That could bite us later down the line. So anything you can do. Tell you what, you can continue your investigation on the condition that one of my men is standing watch. This is a high-profile case, so they'll keep me apprised of any developments. Don't worry about the higher-ups, I'll keep them off you. Just give me the results. You better be right on this. And we got Yimie. Wonderful. Before you go, I have another matter to discuss with you. I see you have the Resolution in your fleet. Would you be willing to surrender the ship to us for investigation and analysis? Of course, I trust you 100%. Surrender the ship. Thank goodness. But, I can get that back, right? You have my thanks, Starfarer. My people will secure it immediately and ensure a smooth transition of custody. The handover is very smooth after that. In a matter of minutes, Alexandra's personnel have become the new custodians of the Resolution. With Yimie now in your custody, you rendezvous with Mizuki aboard your flagship. You decide to process Yimie through medical before meeting with Mizuki, giving you a moment to breathe. As you tap your tripod to send the message to Mizuki, you hear an electric chime from behind you. Already here, Captain Von. A few minutes pass after the bridge of your flagship when you hear your security chief call your attention. Captain, she's done with medical. Do we put cuffs on her back on? Please advise. That is a good question. Because if I don't restrain her, she might just kill Mizuki. She does consider Mizuki to be the saboteur. Logic dictates I should probably restrain her. Understood, sir. The security chief relays your orders to the Marines guarding her, and so the waiting continues. Just enough time for Mizuki a question. So, anything I should know? She ponders for a moment. Test Flight 6. Before the Resolution, she and another pilot were competing to see who would be the lead pilot on the next flight. They raced towards a small asteroid as the goalpost, beyond the testing site. Never saw a pirate frigate until it was within weapons range. Mizuki's eyes sharpened. They won. Yimie scored the kill and logged excellent combat data. Mizuki pauses. Her wingman was not as lucky. That flight ruined one good starcraft and its pilot. Before you can ask Mizuki to tell you more, the electric door slides open with a whoosh. Yimie swaggers in, flanked by two Marines, and smiling brightly at you. She jogs towards you excitedly before suddenly stopping dead in her tracks. Color drains from Yumie's face as she sees Mizuki standing beside you. Her breathing gets shallow and she takes a step back, looking at you and her in disbelief. You! What are you doing here, traitor? You thieving buddies sell you out? Back to Vegas to take you back, huh? Commander Thompson, let's first listen to the facts. I get the distinct feeling she doesn't want to hear about the facts. Her dialogue is cut short by Yumie's fist. Your security chief orders the Marines to separate the two officers. Realizing that she's about to be restrained, Yimie singles out one of her would-be captors and tackles him to the ground before giving him a quick elbow jab to the chest. Everybody freeze, or I gun her down, Yimie yells, managing to secure a sidearm, its barrel now aimed directly at Mizuki's face. Yumie's rage-filled eyes gaze up a placid face. Mizuki's hands are raised, doing her best to come off as non-threatening. That escalated quickly. Hear us out, please? Yimie hesitates, the rage still etched on her face. You would go this far to give her the benefit of the doubt. You think quickly, I would go this far to help you. Yimie gives you a complicated look. After a moment of looking at her, she slumps down, a complex expression on her face. The Marines confiscate the gun from her grasp and everyone composes themselves as the tension eases. On your comlink, you call for a medical team to bridge to give everyone a checkup. Talk to Yimie. As you approach, Yimie sees you after getting looked at by the medical team. Thanks. She can't seem to meet your eyes. Giving up, she just looks away from you. She turns to you, meeting your gaze, eyes filled with complex thoughts. She mouths and closes a few times, unable to find the words. She closes her eyes and grabs your hand. Just thank you for coming back for me. You're welcome. Can you tell me about the test Flight 6? Yimie makes a complex face. We were just racing. Earlier patrols cleared the test flight area. No idea how they snuck in, but there they were. She says, reliving the moment. Ian was the first to spot it, yelling how it wasn't supposed to be there. I was right behind him, fingers right on the trigger, ready to follow up as soon as he got out of the way. Those 5 seconds were way too long. His plane got punctured with holes before he could land a shot. Didn't find out till later, but that brief AA burst from their PDs knocked out his tracking system. Guy couldn't even fire even if he came back. After he left me and the pirate frigate alone, I just unloaded on them. Don't really remember anything of it. I just remember climbing out of the cockpit and the designers and maintainers slapping me on the back like I beat the entire hedge all by my lonesome. Well, it does sound like quite the kill. Yimie sighs. There's more to this story, isn't there? Catch on quick, Yimie says regretfully. Eden was never the same after that. He'd freeze up in the flight sim every time there was a bogey. Guy just couldn't pull the trigger. Yimie looks at you with serious eyes. Can you imagine a fighter pilot not being able to fight? Not being able to have your back when it counts? Yimie shakes her head. He lost his wings in that mission. He became a Rayan, a flightless bird. It is the greatest insult you can call an Aurorian pilot. Yimie clutches her hand in yours. If I had been any faster, I would have been there first. Maybe Ian wouldn't have lost his trigger sense, wouldn't have had to lose his wings. She looks at you with eyes full of anger. No, frustration. I swore I'd always be the first to fire, never hesitating to face the enemy. Pirates, hedge, Lud, nod cases, or whatever else. I'd never lose anything more than necessary. She sits there in silence, hand tight, holding yours, gripping your dear life for a moment before it falls. Mizuki! As you approach Mizuki, who looks just a little bit worse for wear, she gives you a look before rolling her eyes. Well, I suppose I should thank you for my head still being on my shoulders, she scoffs. The medics clear out, just finishing up, leaving both of you space to talk. Level with me. Tell me about yourself, and don't dress it up. Busy buzzy, aren't you? She says, exasperated. Fine, I'll bite. My family was military. Hard head, hard ass, hard life. That's what my father used to say. Maybe they had a point. I was good at my jobs, and I never left things half-assed. A smug smile creeps onto her face. My family was serving the Queen in some form or another for as long as I could remember. So when she wound up here, no surprise I wound up alongside her. I need more time to prepare. With the tension between the two officers lighting, you let them know that you need to make further preparations. The two ultimately decide to follow your lead. Fine, but our window will not be open forever. Settle your affairs quickly. We'll be waiting for you back on Favonus. Don't keep two bombshells waiting. Yimie flashes her a million cred smile. It's actually pronounced Yimie, isn't it? I've been saying it wrong this entire time. I keep wanting to say Yumi. Someone will crucify me for it, I'm sure. It doesn't take long for the crew to get settled after the confrontation's over. You have some time before your appointment on Favonus. What will be your next step? That is a good question.